Good morning, everyone. Let's start this video off at a stop sign, just for the fun of it.
What we're going to talk about today. So what I want to discuss is something that I feel like I saw coming about 10 years ago when I got this bike and has finally come to fruition. So I have a video out there somewhere where I say that Harley needed to make some more performance-oriented bikes, right? Things that are made to handle corners, a little bit faster, more powerful bikes. Just stuff that's more fun for a younger generation if you want to try to steal some of that like naked bike, sport bike market. Because that's a growing industry for younger riders, and Harley's kind of died down. So when you think about it, right, if you rewind back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, Harleys were originally, right, they were the outlaw biker bikes. Okay, so Hell's Angels, all that kind of stuff. Now since then, I mean, obviously those guys still ride Harleys and stuff, but since then Harley's expanded into another category, which is old men. No, so I mean, let's be honest though, right? Basically what roughly happened was a lot of those guys grew up, maybe left their club or whatever they decided to do, and they kept riding a Harley, but it turned into more of a sport and more of a just kind of a leisure activity than it was a lifestyle, right? So and this is all stuff people already know, but Harley has a aging demographic that they have to do something about. What is there to do about that? So the cool thing is, the guys like at Unknown Industries who are stunting Harley Davidson motorcycles. Oh fuck yeah, bud. Anyway, who are stunting Harley Davidson motorcycles? They're younger guys, right? And there's other people on YouTube doing it. They're just arguably the ones to popularize it on YouTube. So those guys are trend setting, right? They've taken the Harley, they've taken the Harley, FXRs and Dynas. They've popularized them, undeniably popularized them in a way that they weren't before. And then, but what have they popularized, right? It's not the chopper, it's not baggers, it's bikes with jacked up suspension, able to carve corners, do the stunts, just bikes that are like basically heavy duty sport bikes, naked bikes, whatever you want to call it, right? They're a giant supermoto, that kind of style. So, for a younger crowd, right? And that's cool. At least it is in my opinion. I'm a 26-year-old guy. So 10 years ago, and I don't even know if their videos were out back then, when I bought this bike, I knew I wanted something sporty, right? I wanted something that could corner. I wanted a bike that was nimble and everything else. And so Harley had the Sportster Roadster, which fit that bill. But nobody else really, none of their other bikes really had that. And actually in production, in 2011-ish when I bought this bike, they didn't even have the Roadster. They had canceled the model. So, and then realistically, the Sportster didn't really have the greatest suspension stock and all that sort of jazz. So, you kind of had to rework it all to make it good. But it came from the factory with good bones, at least. So we did that, got the Sportster, and I added a bunch of suspension stuff to it. Luckily, these Sportsters have pretty decent power from the factory, so no big deal there. Anyway, fast forward to 2020, and of course, 2021, of course, the Sportster Roadster was revitalized in a different form, which was cool, because it had the inverted front forks, and it had, good rear shocks. And then Harley's done a couple of Unknown Industry style, they call it club style motorcycles, right? Fairings, T-bars, the whole nine. And I think they've been some good looking bikes. And I don't know how well they've sold, but the problem is they can make all the good bikes in the world. And this is where I got it wrong the last video I made 5, 6, 7 years ago now. Harley can make all of the best bikes in the world, but they gotta fix their advertising. So I don't know if it's a political correctness thing. I don't know if it's just not understanding the market. But let's be completely honest. Harley built its name on outlaw motorcycle clubs, gangs, whatever, right? that they have to make commercials about being in a gang or a club, but they need to make commercials showing like the cool part of riding a motorcycle, right? A twisty road, pulling a wheelie, I don't know, drifting, like stuff that young people inevitably do anyway, right? They'll buy a supermoto and they'll go drift the thing around, and you gotta show them that they can trick out a Harley or buy one off the showroom floor that you can do that kind of stuff with. And because that's the reality of it, right? Young people tend to be degenerates. They want to have fun. So I feel like the advertising misses the mark, and I'm all for the heritage side of the advertising, and that keeps the older crowd engaged, and honestly, there's younger people like me who appreciate that as well. But you gotta mix that in with some outlaw advertising, whatever you want to call it. But you gotta have a good blend, because one form of advertising does not fit all. And I think that would go a long way. And then it's just a matter of like, you gotta, take the Unknown Industries guys for an example. Well, why doesn't Harley contact them and be like, guys, we want to do something with it? Like, they have all of these YouTube, what I'll call influencers, for lack of a better term, but just YouTube people doing cool stuff with Harleys. Even somebody like John's Moto Garage. Just, he's just a dude with 5 or 6 bikes, but he has some of the coolest Dyna videos out there. Like, just stuff that Harley could capitalize on and be like, bam, let's take this guy's content and turn it into something that we can use to promote our brand. And obviously these people would have to be willing to do it, but presumably, they would jump on an opportunity like that if it was the right deal. So, I think that there's room for Harley to, that all the bones are there for them. They just have to, like, the framework's there. They just have to accept it and use it. That's kind of the way I interpret it. But, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the matter, I guess. I think, and that's the other thing is, Harley has competition in a way it never has before. Indian Motorcycles established itself as a legitimate, good motorcycle brand. I think Victory had struggled with that, but for whatever reason, because I think the Victory bikes are pretty good, it just never really stormed the market. With the Indian, maybe just because of the name, people like having the Indian name, I don't know. But Indian, I think, has done it, and they found a way to make it work. And then just all the Japanese stuff is better. I mean, every bike's better. The Harleys are a lot better too. I mean, crap, a Milwaukee 8, like 114, whatever the heck they're coming with these days, are gutsy motors. It's no twin cam 88 or an old Evo that was making 60 horsepower. These bikes are cranking out 100 horse from the factory. I think that's pretty good for a 700-800 pound machine. Yes, obviously there's bikes that make a lot more power, but it's not really the point of a Harley was to begin with anyway. But man, it's a little soggy today. Well, I should say it's a little froggy. Oh, that was pretty bad. We might have to edit that one out. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Just wanted to make a quick video on on my thoughts. I hope Harley figures it out. It's a good brand, it's a good company. They have really nice motorcycles, obviously. You just got to kind of figure out how to pull some sales back from other brands. So anyway, it's the beauty of the free market. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching.